Hello everyone, my name is Winston. Today I'm going to show you how to implement Stripe to your React client side and Firebase. First, I assume that you have already started a project on Firebase and connected it with your React client side. In order to implement Stripe, first you need to go to Firebase and under extensions, we need to install an extension called One Payment with Stripe. And here with the configuration, we need to have products and customer collections. So in our Firestore, we have customer collection and product collection. So when a user sign up, we should have their information saved in a collection called customers. So we will save information such as their email and then first name, last name, address, cart item, and wish list, and so on. So with this One Payment with Stripe extension, Stripe will automatically generate a Stripe ID and Stripe link for the customer when they sign up. In order to do that, we need to go to the configuration of this extension. So we put products here, customers here as the names of your collection, and then we need to put the Stripe API key with restricted asset. In order to get this key, we need to go to the dashboard of Stripe, and then here we go to API key and you create a restricted key. So for the name, you can call whatever you want, but for me, I call it Firebase, and then we only need this customer to be able to write. So we only need to write customer only because we just want to have Stripe ID and Stripe link for the customer when they sign up. So for other part, you can just leave it as none. And then you just click create key. And after that, you will have a key. And then you just copy this and put it here. For the webhook secret, we don't need this, so you can just leave it blank. Because for the webhook, we will create a cloud function to handle session when the customer check out. So for this extension, we just use it to generate a Stripe ID for the customer only. So for this extension to work, you copy the rules here, and then paste it to the rules of Cloud Firestore, just like here. So I copy and paste it to the rules. So after you have set up the extension, when you create a customer, then a Stripe ID will be automatically generated. So I'm creating a new user. So a Stripe ID and Stripe link will be automatically generated. And for the next step, you will need to install this Firebase command line interface. Copy this command and run it in your terminal. And after you have installed the Firebase tool, you will need to log in. And then after you have successfully logged in, you init your Firebase under your project folder. And here we choose Firebase, choose functions. You press space and then press enter. Because we have already had an existing project on Firebase, you use an existing project. So we are going to use JavaScript. And then the next step is we go to the function folder and then open the index.js. So here you can create your own function here. And here I have already created 2 functions in this file. If you would like to, you can copy my functions. For the first function, it is to send data from Firebase to Stripe when the customer checks out. Stripe will create a session for the customer to make payment. As you can see here, we have an environment variable that you can set up by using this command. And this, you can copy and paste your secret key here. You can get the key from the dashboard, secret key, and copy this key and paste here, and then click enter. And now let's look at the client side. In order to call the function from Firebase, you need to import the dependencies and libraries. So it's here. And remember, for the function, we call it as create Stripe checkout. So in order to call it, we need to set it up like this to call the function from call functions. And here, for the customer, remember when the customer is created, Stripe will generate a Stripe ID. So if you put a Stripe ID here, when the customer checks out, it will preview the email. And for the line item, Stripe is very sensitive in regards to line item. So for the format of the line item would be like this. So for each item, you will need to set up the quantity and currency, unit amount, and the name. And for the unit amount, it must be multiplied by 100. For example, if the unit is $100, then you will need to multiply it by 100. And also remember, the unit amount should not have any decimal places. After that, you will need to deploy your function to Firebase. And after you have successfully deployed the function, you can check your functions on the Firebase here. So for the function that I have created, this first one is called create Stripe checkout. So you will see your function here. And after that, you should be able to have Stripe creating a session for the customer. So you should be able to create this session. Next, we will need to have our second function. This is a strict webhook for Stripe to communicate with Firebase when the session is completed and the customer has made their payment. This is to tell Firebase to update its database, for example, to create an order, to update the stock level for each purchased product, and also to update the customer information, which is related to these three collections. And in this function, we have two environment variables. For the first one, we have set up previously, and for the second one, this is a webhook secret key. At this moment, we don't need to set up yet, but we will need to just deploy it using the same command. So after you have deployed the function to call functions, you should be able to see your function here, and then you copy the URL here and go to Stripe's dashboard, and here you search webhooks. As you can see here, I have already created my endpoint. So here you add an endpoint and paste the URL you just copied, and you can put whatever description here. And then add endpoint. So when you have added endpoint, you just need to have this checkout session completed to send. And remember, in your function, you will need to send a 200 response back to Stripe, so that Stripe will know that the communication between Stripe and Firebase was successful. If you forgot to send the 200 response back to Stripe, Stripe will retry sending the event back to Firebase, and then at that time, Firebase will probably update the collections again. Therefore, you must remember to send a 200 response back to Stripe when the function has been successfully executed. So after you have created an endpoint, you can copy the signing secret here. So this signing secret is the second environment variable here. So again, you set up your Firebase variable here. So here, you copy the signing secret and then paste it here and click enter. After setting up your second environment variable, you will need to deploy your function to Firebase again. And now it is time to test the webhook function. After the payment has been successfully made, Stripe webhook will send the event back to Firebase to update the database. So here, you can see that an event has been successfully sent to Firebase to create a new order, to clear the customer chart. So here, an order has been made after the payment is made. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you understand how to implement Stripe client and server integration. I have also included the related files in my description below. Thank you. Bye bye.